lost time is never found again. Proverb. This week, hopefully you have started to examine the importance of being on time and have kept your eye on time while making a conscious effort to be punctual for every training session. This video clip is to reinforce your efforts and ensure that you stay focused on making your punctuality a priority. With your eye on being on time, you show discipline and respect. By keeping your appointments, you start every session and meeting off on the right foot. Not only should you strive to be on time for every Parisi training session, meeting, or appointment, but we also recommend that you set a goal to arrive at least 5 minutes early. Still not convinced being on time is important to being a successful performance coach yet? Well, here are 4 reasons why you should arrive early for your Parisi appointments. Reason number 1. Being early creates a time buffer. A great reason to be early is to give yourself a buffer in case something delays you. Planning to show up at the exact time of your training session or appointment leaves no room for error and can often result in being late. By creating the habit of being 5 to 10 minutes early for sessions, you give yourself time to make final preparations and get ready for a great day of training. Reason number 2. Being early lets you relax into the day. A second reason to consistently be early is so you can be relaxed for the training session or appointment. Running through the door stressed out because you were rushing never reflects well on you, and you are never fully prepared to deliver a great session. By planning your day properly, you will be on time, relaxed, and awaiting your athletes for a great speed or strength session. Reason number 3. Being early gives you time to prepare. The third reason to be early is to make sure you are prepared for the training session and day. Always arrive early so you will have a few minutes to relax, think about your training schedule, and get organized. The extra 5 to 10 minutes to check your schedule and plan the training session can be the difference between good and great. Frantically running for files, a stopwatch, or clipboard when a session should have started only shows your athletes and their parents you are not at the top of your game. Reason number 4. Being early removes the need for excuses. The final reason to persuade you to be early is so you can avoid having to make up an excuse for being late. I don't know about you, but most people hate listening to excuses, and even worse, having to make excuses. By removing excuses from your day, your Parisi training is guaranteed to go much more smoothly. We know that you have a busy schedule and that you may feel you don't have enough time in the day to get to everything. You may also feel that the previous 4 reasons to be early may seem unrealistic due to your busy schedule. In order to combat this, here is a powerful parable for you to think about that should help you improve your ability to be on time. A time management parable. A professor stood before his philosophy class and had some items in front of him. When the class began, wordlessly he picked up a very large and empty mayonnaise jar and proceeded to fill it with golf balls. He then asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed that it was. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. He shook the jar lightly. The pebbles rolled into the open areas between the golf balls. He then asked the students again if the jar was full. They agreed it was. The professor next picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. Of course, the sand filled up everything else. He asked once more if the jar was full. The students responded with a unanimous yes. The professor then produced a big glass of water from under the table and poured the entire contents into the jar, effectively filling the empty space between the sand. The students laughed. "Now," said the professor as the laughter subsided, "I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. The golf balls are the important things: your family, your health, your children, your friends, your favorite passions. Things that if everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like your job, your house, your car. The sand is everything else. the small stuff. If you put the sand into the jar first, he continued, there is no room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same goes for life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you'll never have room for the things that are important to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Play with your children. Take time to get medical checkups. Take your partner out to dinner. Play another 18. There will always be time to clean the house and fix the disposal. Take care of the golf balls first, the things that really matter. Set your priorities. The rest is just sand. One of the students raised her hand and inquired what the water represented. The professor smiled. I'm glad you asked. It just goes to show you that no matter how full your life may seem, there's always room for a little more with the right planning. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Benjamin Franklin.